Welcome to IMAGI-NATION TV. My name is Andrew Dempsey from Calamvale Community College. What makes me who I am is the people that have stayed with me through my life and the culture I was brought up in. The Yagara and Taurabu tribe are where I'm from. Today we'll be talking about what is building a bridge to me and to us. To me, building a bridge is not just something we do physically like building the Golden Gate Bridge, but building bridges from our life to another and branching out into something that we're not necessarily always comfortable with. Appreciating the people and the stuff that they do for us is something that we also need to take into concern. Building a bridge for me is helping someone else to help you. And from what I've been told so far, I will be passing it off to Will.
G'day guys, it's great to be here today. Andrew, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be co-hosting with you today. And as you said, we are exploring the concept of building bridges. We're very lucky to have with us a group of incredible people from CareerTrackers. So we'll be saying hello to them shortly. But we're going to explore the idea of how connections play a role in the path of young people who are trying to figure out what they want to do and what paths they may take. We're going to explore the ideas of unlikely connections and how to create opportunities and how we can unpack some of the blockers that prevent young people from achieving their goals. So I think without further ado, let's meet who is on the panel. Let's kick off with you, Ann-Maree. How are you going? Would you like to tell us who you are, where you are, what you do, and what building bridges means to you?
Well, Nowra everyone, Galan Gojali. My name's Ann-Maree. I'm a proud bachelor and Torres Strait Islander woman based here on the lands of the Yagara and the Turrbal people. So, you know, for me, I was the first in my family to finish high school in my immediate family, and I grew up in Toowoomba. T-Bar represent, very proud of my hometown. But at 17, you know, I was really curious about what was happening in the big smoke. And as a young creative, growing up with my mum, who's an Aboriginal artist, I knew that creativity was going to be part of my journey, and giving back to mob was also something that was a responsibility and not a career. So I studied a Bachelor of Dance and Journalism at QUT, quite a random combination. Apparently you can't high kick the weather updates, but maybe there's a market out there. But thankfully I found my feet at CareerTrackers as a student advisor just over 3 years ago. So I worked with the university students with mob all over Queensland and Northern Territory for a few years there. And, you know, I was really curious in meeting students who had studied degrees such as Keely, Perry with biotechnology, or some of my other students doing, you know, mechatronics engineering. Where did that journey start? Was it a confidence piece to find that pathway? Was it a connection that you had along the way, or was it someone who came and visited your school? So for the last 5+ months, I've worked as a high school program student advisor. And so working with our deadly students in year 9 to 10 all over Australia has been part of my incredible mission that I get to call my job.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit about who you are and what you do. Ann-Maree, let me ask you, what does building bridges? We've heard from Andrew, and he's given a really kind of, I think, quite an intelligent view of what this concept is. What does it mean to you?
Well, building bridges, I think, you know, it's taking it back a bit grassroots, to our culture and to, our purpose, it's those connections. And I like to think of it as a spider web. You have both your professional spider web and your personal spider web, and sometimes those overlap. But it's just about reaching out, for support where you need it, or looking out for others, and just the connections you make along the way, some with intent and some by complete coincidence. But for me, it's that more connections piece and the organics of life in those communities.
Thank you so much, Ann-Maree. I was muted there. These things happen on live TV sometimes. We're going to throw the ball to Keely. Keely, would you like to tell us who you are and what your potentially unlikely connection might be to Ann-Maree Long, and what it is that you're studying?
Well, I am a third-year undergrad at the University of Queensland studying biotechnology. So I get a couple questions about that all the time. I don't truly know what it is, and I am in my third year. So I guess I'll tell you all when I do find out. But yeah, I grew up in rural Queensland. I graduated high school with a group of 20 kids. So, my connections were really small when I started out. I didn't have many bridges, and I moved down for university, and the pool that was already small became even smaller. But I guess, yeah, as Anne-Maree said, I kind of had a bit of a secret ally there because I joined CareerTrackers. Well, I can't remember when it was. We have an anniversary that Anne-Maree and I always forget. But I think it is probably midway through my grade 12. Yeah, I joined CareerTrackers. I'm pretty sure I was Anne-Maree's first student. I like to gloat. Yeah, look how well I turned out. So she was my advisor and kind of just helped push me through until I got in and got comfortable. And even then, even though she's moved on, I still like to have a catch up. And even now, actually, we do work together still. So I guess that is a bridge that keeps getting extra little lanes off it. I don't know what keeps happening, but yeah.
That's fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing. Who else would like to introduce themselves that's on our panel today? Trinity, would you like to say hello?
Hi, my name's Trinity. I'm from Central Queensland in Rocky. My tribe, though, is from the Bundaberg area, Garang Garang. My tribe totem is a water hen, so that's really nice. Talking about building bridges, for me personally, I'm wanting to move away to study nursing, so building bridges is just, I guess, trying to complete my goals and taking time to do that, and the steps I need to do, like saying goodbye to my family and giving up those connections to make more connections with people from further away. And then by hopefully completing my goal of being a nurse, I then build more bridges and more as I go on. And yeah, that's pretty much what concept of building bridges is.
Thank you so much, Trinity. I really appreciate your input there. Lily, going across to you now.
So I'm Lily. I'm a proud Wiradjuri and Gomeroi woman from Nowra, so in the UN Nation. For me, building bridges is providing myself and others with the opportunity to move forward and achieve in life. And like with what Trinity said, achieve goals and be able to, get to where you want to be. And make connections on the way. So that's my whole idea of building bridges.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And we're now going to say hello to Degen. Are you there, Degen?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everybody. My name's Degenhard Beschel. I am a proud descendant of the Wagaragam tribe from Mobiag Island, which is one of the western islands in the Torres Strait. Interesting fact about me: I was raised in Papua New Guinea, and I love to come and spend some time in, especially in TI, and that's where I kind of understood where, even though they were very spread apart, both communities shared that aspect of, about family, society being brought in together. Through there, I was able to make all these connections with everybody. That's the one thing I love about family, especially with, I guess, you just have so many relatives, cousins, aunties, uncles. So interestingly enough, I'm also part of the CareerTrackers. I started interning with them midway through year 12, just like Keely. They're just amazing. Through them, I was able to build those bridges, make more connections, and it's just amazing. To me, what I think about the idea of bridges is that I guess before you have a bridge, you also have a barrier, a natural barrier. And the idea of a bridge is to overcome that barrier and increase your connectivity with everyone. The other thing I love about bridges also is that once you have a bridge, you're also able to bring everyone along with you, bring your community. And I guess that's something I want to strive to do. Once I make those connections, meet new people, I also want to bring my community along with me. So I guess in a sense, everyone can benefit. Yeah, so that's my goals. So yeah, that's what I think building bridges are. Thank you.
Degan, that was actually quite incredible. And I'm actually just going to, I've got a series of questions that I'm supposed to follow, but I'm a bit of a rule breaker. Would anyone like to respond to what Degan just said? Andrew, what do you think about what Degan said?
I think that was amazing what he just said. I pretty much summarized what I hope everyone's beliefs of bridge is, because it's not just like Degan said, it's not just about yourself, it's about your community and bringing people with you along the way and striving to help the people that have helped you. You know, the expression, what goes around comes around. You want to treat people the way that you want them to treat you. And I believe, you know, investing yourself in your community, your people, and even people that you haven't met before, you know, to try and help everyone that you can out. I believe it's the best way to leave a legacy on earth, you know, just to be the person that helps someone, you know.
I do know. Thank you so much. Would anyone else like to respond to that?
Yeah, I'd love to jump in. Thanks, Will. You know, it's so beautiful hearing a yarn about bridges, everyone. And Degan, you know, in meeting Degan, we bring mob out, you know, we reach out to different schools and say, hey, you interested in this CareerTrackers program? And, you know, part of Degan's story is he'd already had family go through, and same with Keely, actually, her older sister. And I think that's quite beautiful, the bridges that are built from, you know, our brothers and sisters and cousins that have taken that courageous step before us to make it a little bit more of a familiar path to take. And, you know, one of the first steps of CareerTrackers is to produce a bit of a bio, a bit of a profile as to what your goals and aspirations are, right? And Degan actually used the words, I aim to be that bridge in his profile in regards to, you know, law and justice in his community. And I think, you know, just in working with mob over the last few years and yarns back home in my community, it's something that's quite organic to us and quite a superpower that I think we should all have a lot of pride in. Comes quite naturally, but has huge impact with our education and with our voices. So yeah, thanks for sharing.
Thanks so much, Ann-Maree. And look, this might be like a kind of simplistic question, but for those people out there that are watching that might have a bit of an idea about AIM, but if people didn't know what CareerTrackers was and what the role that, you know, that Keely, for example, has played, how would you wrap it up? Like, what is CareerTrackers? What do you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, essentially, we're here to provide exposure and opportunities to our mob, you know, not only our young mob in year 9, 10, 11, and 12, but also current university students, right? So we're a national non-for-profit, and we've had students come through the program who are 15, but have also been in their late 60s and have seen their young kids go to university. I'm quite inspired by their story and thought, hey, this is my opportunity to go study what I've always wanted to do and get matched to an internship opportunity. Now, you know, if you've gone through university before, just like me, you'll know it can be a bit tricky in finding work after your studies. I was quite hopeful. I didn't know about the CareerTrackers program, but I had my glossy dance degree and I thought, oh, I'm going to get snuggled up by an employer because I've, you know, done everything right. I thought getting that qualification was all that was needed, but also that workplace experience and that confidence in where you want to take that degree is super important. And there weren't many programs out there, right, for our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander leaders to support not only towards the end of the degree, but from the offset and that subject selection phase. So we're here to support, you know, mob across Australia through mentoring, being matched to buddies. You know, if your goal is to become a nurse, such as Trinity, will go work with the local Aboriginal Community Health Centre and see if there's an appropriate buddy there to get matched to an opportunity. And then as you go into university, they become paid upon graduation of year 12 so that you can, you know, earn some dosh while you're also getting some front row experience in an industry of your passion.
Fantastic. Andrew, have you got any questions for Ann-Maree about what she does as a job or what CareerTrackers is?
I'm personally more interested in how CareerTrackers build bridges. Like, what is your aspect on how do you build the bridge yourself as, not just you, but also the program that you're working with for all of us.
Yeah, so deadly, Andrew. Well, with myself, working in Queensland, Northern Territory and WA as the regions, they're just small parts of Australia, hey? Only a small part. So I have to make a lot of bridges, mainly virtual bridges, to connect in with students and mob. But it's, many hands make light work. So for me, organisations such as Aime and QuatSIF and, many others and the university partners we have spread the word and spread awareness of the opportunities through CareerTrackers. But not only that, Michael Combs, our founder, who started CareerTrackers 11 years ago, he asked the question, a commitment, a call out for, social change and for First Nations voices to be heard, not only just at level 1, 2, and 3 of a corporate building, but at the top, at the decision-making tables. So, since starting those conversations and taking on partners such as Herbert Smith Freehills or Qantas and Commonwealth Bank, we now have over 250 corporate partners. So 250 plus bridges for opportunities for our young mob to come in and experience. So a lot of it's all about through sharing our journeys, letting friends and family know, and just having that vulnerability in our stories that it's not always easy. You don't always go from high school to uni and into the corporate world. Everyone's journey is different, but we understand that and we're here to support our community through that as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ann-Maree. Andrew, I'll let you keep going, mate. You're doing a great job.
I was just going to say that was an amazing answer. And I think that I was thinking too focused and narrow on what I was thinking of a bridge was. And as Ann-Maree just said, she was thinking globally and as far out as possible. I have one more question though. How has COVID affected this in terms of, not being able to go places very far and, having to wear masks all the time and you're not able to get into contact and things like that?
Yeah, totally. Well, similar to so many organizations and even through your educations, as you'd know at school with your teachers and communities, kind of thinking plan B, what can we do? We want everyone to stay engaged and have those opportunities that we once had. The nerves of going up the elevator to your first office, but in opening that Zoom window. And it's been different region to region, but thankfully, because of the community we have and the support that we have of our partners, we've been able to facilitate some fun online engagements, which has also opened doors for our mob to join in through communities such as the Torres Strait, where, those were initially areas that we wanted to build more hands-on internship opportunities. It's kind of allowed us to think about what exists in Sydney and how can that now be accessed from someone in Adelaide or in Tasmania. So it's definitely got its positives, but of course, as we've all lived and breathed it, it definitely has its challenges as well in staying motivated and engaged. And I think just being able to come together and explain that and share that has been really powerful. And trying all the new technologies like GatherTown and essentially Sims-like software to come together and have a yarn has been an interesting way to go about things, but definitely challenges. But when the going gets tough, the tough get going. We've seen a lot of that happen over the last few years.
Excellent. Andrew, would you like to hear from the other panelists in regards to your last question?
Yeah, I would like to open up to all the panelists and ask them how they think career trackers help build bridges.
I guess I'll have a go. I think it honestly starts from the foundation of your bridge, just that personal connection kind of kickstart it, because you're generally just talking to a stranger and you're like, oh, am I going to tell them about my whole goals and why am I? And you need to start that general connection first and personal connection to allow your mentee or like me to open up to your mentors, because personally for myself, it is very nerve-wracking and you're still trying to figure out what you want to do on yourself, and having your mentors guide you is a really big thing. And yeah, they play a big role in helping you guide what you want to do for your future.
I love that answer, honestly. And I love how you used guide as a key word, as they weren't giving you an opportunity for nothing. You proved that yourself, you were working for it, and they gave you your opportunity, but you still proved yourself worthy. So it wasn't just a freebie. You actually had to work for it. And I love the fact that you not only said that it was your work, but it's their work as well, helping you. It's a give and take relationship between everyone. Has anyone else got any answers for that question?
If it's okay, I might step in and answer that one as well. Yes, just like Trinity said, you're given such like really good mentors. I was privileged enough to get partnered with a James Erd, one of the alumni. He was his previous alumni. He was amazing. He actually did some work at, he was doing work at DLA Piper. By meeting him, I was also connected to his, I guess, the partners, the people working at DLA Piper. So through CareerTrackers, you're also able to make those professional, create those professional relationships with those. And it's just, honestly, it's just such an amazing opportunity as well for you to make new experiences. Because I know, especially for someone my age, or I guess even those older, you're never really sure about what you want to do until you finally like take that step. For me, I always wanted to be a lawyer, try and give back to society. And I wasn't really sure if I could if that was even like something that would suit me as a person. But through CareerTrackers, I was able to like get over that barrier, overcome that barrier, and get put into like the actual daily life of a lawyer. And I think it was just an amazing opportunity. And yeah, CareerTrackers is definitely a bridge and an opportunity to what you want to do later in life.
That was a great response. I love how you said that you had to overcome a barrier in terms of making bridges. So bridges aren't just a way to connect, but they're also a way to get over obstacles that are in your way. Have you had any personal experience with anything like that, Degan?
Is that through CareerTrackers? Like, sorry.
Just in general life. I.e. being you wanted to go to your career path, but you couldn't because COVID stopped you from going that far or something like that, and you had to build your life around that.
Yeah, I guess especially during COVID, there was also always going to be that issue for, I guess, like meeting up in real life. There was also always those restrictions, but lucky for us, we had lovely Ann-Maree. And yeah, there was also that barrier of whether or not, because honestly, in real life, I can't actually like be a lawyer. Without CareerTrackers, I never would have like had the opportunity to experience what a lawyer does. So themselves, like just the experience of understanding what a lawyer does, that was a barrier itself at the time. And yeah, I guess COVID-19 had a massive influence. But lucky for us, we had such great people in CareerTrackers. We had a lovely Ann-Maree. She created all these lovely workshops. And it was just amazing overall. So yeah, I think that would have to be it.
So you're saying that your barrier was the experience side of being a lawyer, that you didn't feel you had that sort of aspect. And you feel that the CareerTrackers has not only helped push you over that barrier, but helped build that bridge for you to get across?
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly what it is. They were the barrier, and honestly, ever since doing that, it's just an amazing opportunity that I just have to urge everyone to take. Be a part of? Because through them, I was able to just, I guess, keep trying to aim and achieve that dream, that goal that I always thought, or some people might have seemed a bit ridiculous. But yeah, with them, honestly, I've seen so many opportunities open up, and they're just an amazing, especially just everything that they do, everything that they strive for. And I just urge anyone to just be a part of that if they can.
Thank you for that response. I want to again open up to the panelists. If anybody else has something to say on the question that I already asked on how CareerTrackers build bridges for not just you, but in general, what you believe.
I'd love to put something forward. Just one of the things we kind of haven't highlighted is we've been obviously Trinity and Dean have both highlighted the kind of job opportunities and the experience you get in a more formal way, but I kind of wanted to pull it back towards more of a community thing, because CareerTrackers is such a massive community. Like it's always kind of, university can be isolating in a way because you might do a degree where there's only one or two people in your year. I mean, I suffer from that. There's not many people in my degree anyway. And I think Ann-Maree and I figured out last year that I was the only biotechnology student in the entirety of the CareerTrackers intern base, which was a little bit of a powerful message in itself. But even that, being able to meet the people and talk to all of the Indigenous students is cool. But the opportunities that we get culturally through CareerTrackers is massive. Doing this with AIM is kind of in a way I can tie to being part of CareerTrackers. And there's heaps. I would keep you guys here for probably years if I went through everything, but it's been quite an amazing thing, kind of the opportunities that pop up just from a conversation with your advisor, or maybe even an email chain that you have. And I've been part of so many things that have made me feel like a better person and have helped me give back, which is just that extra side to CareerTrackers that we kind of don't focus on when we're talking about it too much, because it is targeting that corporate kind of relationship. So yeah.
That's a great response. I just want to ask you one question, Keely. In your degree, when you found out you were the only person in CareerTrackers that was doing it, was that a big hit on like your mentality, like your keep going attitude, or was that something like I'm the only one, I got to keep going?
Well, I mean, at first I kind of realized it when we were playing, I think it was like intern bingo at the start, was the first time we'd ever all met each other. And one of the things on the bingo sheet was find someone in your own degree. And I was like, I've already lost because I have no support network with anyone else in this degree. And like every time we'd go for mentors, I couldn't be like, there was no other person who'd graduated with my degree. So I was kind of like, oh, that's a little bit of an issue. Obviously, mentors, you kind of do want someone different and not exactly the same, but you do want to have that one person that you know has done what you were trying to do. And I mean, I probably struggled a little bit with that in the first couple of months when I did realize that. But I mean, I'm happy to be that person for someone else. So the next person that comes through, I mean, even if it's a little bit harder for me, I'm always happy to pay it backwards. And as I said, I mean, Ann-Maree got to see me speak with some kids the other day, and one of the things I said was being the first in anything is really important, but it's being able to turn it around and turn that into a second person and a third person and just keep doing it. So I'm always happy to do that, and no matter what stress that puts on me. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Keely. That was an amazing response to my question. I get it was out of the blue and a bit weird, but yeah. For my next question, I kind of just wanted to ask, how can we use unlikely connections to reduce inequity? Has anyone got any sort of idea on how we want to do that?
So I think that this is in relation to, I guess, educational inequity and what some unlikely connections might be. Perhaps someone of the panelists, or Andrew, even yourself, if you've got any stories that I guess I might relate to in education and the idea of that kind of alleviation of some kind of oppression. Would anyone have an idea of an unlikely connection that they could make or have experienced in their own lives?
Having a bit of just to look back on what's happened so far. When I was younger, first coming to school was a little bit challenging for me because, well, I haven't made it public yet, but I've got dyslexia, dyscalculia, and dysgraphia. It made it really hard for me to read, write, and do all the simple things. And I feel like at the start, I wasn't getting the help that I needed, but through all these programs and everything now, getting more recognized in the school from AIM and all the programs like that AIM has introduced me to, I've sort of been more recognized in school, and they've helped me out a lot more recently in terms of getting the help I need to get over those lines, to get those passing grades, to not even just get C's, to get B's and A's and most of my subjects, and improve on my life as it is and how it was.
Going on from that, in a way for me would be that since like my dad did die when I was younger, my mum is a proud white woman, so she didn't have a lot of connections for me, and I didn't really know my culture as much as I should from a young age. And getting into high school, AIM and Deadly Choices and all that were a really big help for me to kind of fully connect with my culture and have a better understanding of it. And I think if I didn't have, going back to the bridges, if I didn't have those bridges, I wouldn't be who I am truly today, because I wouldn't have understood really. But it's been a big part of my life, AIM and Deadly Choices and so on.
Yeah, I want to extend on what Trinity said about AIM being able to support and build connections for people. Like recently, they've gotten me in connections with like archaeologists and curators to explore my future and what career path I want to go into, which without that, I wouldn't have had that opportunity to explore where I want to go in my life, and see if I'm actually interested in and not. Yeah, I know they've been really good making connections for me and explore that. Yeah.
I think for me, it's been about 11 years or 12 years since I was in high school now, which is, not too far in some cases, but also feels like a long way away when you are working with younger mob. Something I struggled a bit with was identity, if I'm being vulnerable and honest, and, my complexion, but how I felt inside, and kind of navigating the strength that I had in my culture and the certainty I had in the role I had to play in community, but perhaps not feeling personally that it was represented on my skin, right? And in Toowoomba, I guess I had to navigate some closed-minded, individuals or communities or situations at the time. And I think it was just understanding that the most important person I needed to justify my Aboriginality to was myself. And once I could believe that wholeheartedly, I could comfortably move forward. But the connections I made, particularly in my career and working with community these days, I feel like all that pain or that confusion all made sense now, being in a position where it's something we can connect to or relate on and share experiences. And it doesn't mean it makes it any easier for anyone's sense, but I think just being able to have those transparent conversations has been an absolute blessing in disguise when I look back on the experiences I had and where it shaped me today.
Ann-Maree, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. It takes a bit of bravery, I think, to sort of explore some of those things from the past, and I really appreciate it, and I'm sure we all do. I guess I'd be interested to know, it's sort of the same question, the idea of unlikely connections in relation to education, but even if it was simplified to the idea of, and opening this to the panel and Andrew for yourself as well, who has been a mentor that maybe has been, someone who's been a bit of a mentor to you that has created an unlikely connection, that's allowed you to get where you're going, whether that was when you were really little or Peter, that's my dog. He's echoing my thoughts and wants me to, yes, I'm going to let them speak. All right, it's over to you guys.
I personally have a few on my mind. A main inspiration, I guess, for me in terms of my life was definitely my mother, coming up and giving me everything I needed to be where I am today, pushing for all the opportunities I have, and, always supporting me through not only my highs in my life, but also like all my lows, all the times, you get in trouble with your parents all the time. But I feel like with my mum necessarily, I wasn't always getting in trouble. It was more of a learning experience and a learning curve. No matter how bad it was, I could always come out and talk to my mum about everything. But if I'm looking at more of an idol in terms of the outside world, not just my mother and my immediate family, I'd definitely say Sam Walker. He plays for the Sydney Roosters in the NRL. And I look up to him as an idol for the purpose of, he was born in 2002 and I was born in 2003. And I always wanted to play for the Sydney Roosters, especially in the NRL team. And knowing that he's just 1 year older than me and he's already made my dream realistic standpoint, because the only thing that was setting me back was because I thought I was too young, too small. I wasn't bulk enough. I wasn't tall enough, good enough. seeing someone that was built like me and almost the same height as me was amazing, because it just felt like it wasn't just Sam out there, it was me as well, seeing another person just like me to do what I wanted.
I'd like to extend on like the immediate family as inspiration. Like you, Andrew, my mum has been a really great role model for me, even my older brother, in how they've achieved certain things in life and gotten to where they want to be. Yeah, I don't know, I just really look up to them in that sense and use them as an example to where I want to go in life. Yeah.
Yeah, to extend on both of those responses, I just have to say, like, parents, especially I guess both of my parents, my mom and my dad, they've just shown just unconditional love when it comes to putting, I guess, us first and trying to make those sacrifices in order for I guess us children to improve in life, get better. I'll always see them as like a mentor throughout my life. I know my dad, he's in right now he's in Papua New Guinea. Because of COVID, I haven't really been able to see him, but lucky to like technology, I'm always able to give him a call. And I know my mom, being like yeah, right now, lucky she yeah, she does have help, but she's always great, especially with us kids. She's always patient and loving. Another mentor for me, like I guess going out of family, would have to be Eddie Marble, another Torres Strait Islander from the yeah, from up north. He was even though he never really he didn't even have like a law degree. He was just one of just like a hardworking Torres Strait Islander that yeah, I think I'm pretty sure, yeah, he was working on like a campus at like one of the a school or a uni, but just for him to have that influence of initiating the Native Title Act, that just sets a standard of you're always going to have the ability to, I guess, like opportunity or ability to like strive for goals. There's always going to be a chance of you actually achieving those goals. And yeah, I guess he sort of just, I guess, helped start those goals for me for when it comes to helping out the community. And yeah, he's just a great mentor for what he has achieved, especially in the legal system. Yeah.
I guess I'll lead on from you. I guess my mum, yeah, she's always been the biggest part of my life. She's always been there for me and my older brother. She's literally a Wonder Woman. We always joke about her being a Wonder Woman because she has just a mindset of like 100 people. She has always been there. She's always given up anything that she has just for us kids. And she's so strong-hearted. And like, for example, a couple of years ago, she wanted to put her like self to the test and did a 250-kilometer ultra marathon in the desert just to see how far she could push her boundaries. And she honestly inspires me every day to push myself to the full potential. And I guess that's why I want to do nursing, because one, she is doing nursing as well, and it's just already inspired me. And two, she's awesome, and I just want to be her, as ironic as it sounds. But I guess my friends too are I look up to, because they, in a cultural aspect, they always push me to do my dancing for our school and for our community, and just always allowing us all to become a community and show, especially our younger generation, our culture. And yeah, pretty much they are very important to me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I just saw Will. He was ready to take off the mic. Hey, no, I gotta keep this chain going. I gotta keep this chain going. And I mean, I know both Will and Ann-Maree have definitely heard me talk about my mum for plenty of times. And I mean, I've actually been out here for the past 2 weeks with her on the property. So I mean, she is my best friend, and in a way, she kind of keeps me honest. She doesn't have a science background at all, and yet she'll sit down with me and listen to me absolutely yammer on about anything. So, I mean, she knows what I'm studying. This is the bad habit. She knows what I'm studying because I'll call her up more to tell her about the things I'm learning. So if I haven't talked to her in a while and told her new things, she knows to call me and be like, no, you need to do your work, get on to your uni work. So, I mean, that's a bit of a special relationship. And I think some of my friends get hurt when I call her my best friend. But, you know, get over it. You'll get there sometime. But yeah, other than that, I mean, probably even sappier. I would love to point out Ann-Maree. So, I mean, she was probably my first CareerTrackers mentor. And in a way, I mean, it could have been a very transactional relationship where Ann-Maree did just tick the boxes of calling me up every month and making sure that I'd done everything and that I had submitted all my things and that I was doing okay in uni. But I mean, it definitely became kind of a friendship where we were checking on each other more than probably necessary. And through COVID, it was even a bigger thing. And I definitely think, again, Ann-Maree listens to my science yammering again. I just like to educate people for no reason. I just, you know, and she enjoys it. Well, I mean, I hope she enjoys it. But it's, you know, it's the CareerTrackers experience in a way where your mentors become the people that you can kind of go to for answers, but also just for them to listen and like you're there as well for them. And that's a relationship I kind of didn't think I was going to get, and I'm very glad I did. So.
Such a beautiful response. I'm actually quite blown away, and I think you guys know what Imagination TV is. It's was the initiative created to put mentors in the home of students that might be stuck in lockdown or whatever, and give the stage to people like Andrew. And I'm blown away, mate. Your hosting was incredible. I didn't need to be here at all. I've just been advised by my good friend and boss, Rianne, that this was supposed to be a half-an-hour episode. But I want to thank you all so much for your time. And look, because Andrew's done such a great job, I'm actually going to pass the ball to him to wrap it all up. Andrew, over to you.
Catching the ball over here. I just wanted to say thank you for everyone coming out today, and thank you for not only giving us your time, but your input on everything that we've said and dealing with the questions that we've given to you today. Just thank you to everyone for tuning in, and hope to catch you next time. Peace.
Can we talk yet?